Chakras are mystical energy centers that exist within the human aura. Every living being has an aura, a field of psychic energy that surrounds and protects its physical body from the negative psychic energies. The aura is the body's psychic immune system. Why don't we know that stuff? So when in Islam there is this, in Urdu it's like Chi Nazar and Buri Nazar is quite famous. Buri Nazar is like bad. Evil eye? Yeah, evil eye. And in Kabbalah, Judaism, they talks about the evil eye and the good eye. So these things are real. And tremendous occult hidden power resides in a person's chakras. It's from the book Surfing the Himalayas by Frederick, Lenz. Spiritual knowledge is enlightened awareness. Like there's one thing, awareness is separate, and then enlightened awareness is next degree. Spiritual knowledge is the experience of enlightenment and requires an understanding the innermost workings of the enlightened cycle. Spiritual knowledge is the awareness of the eternal side of things, the eternal side of ourselves, number one, the eternal side of others, number two, and the eternal side of the worlds that exist both within us and outside us. 3 points. Most people are only aware of their physical nature when you have our 3D body, the one we can touch or see by our senses or hear, and of the physical sides of their lives. Their happiness is extremely limited. Yes, we are stuck in the 3D world. When events and circumstances in their lives don't turn out as they hoped or wished, most often they experience a great deal of sorrow, unhappiness, and pain. Like, I think we are in illusion that if things go according to us or how we want, we will be happy. And that makes us kind of control free, controlling everything. Most people are not really happy beyond their surface appearances. Like everyone is performing, everyone is acting. The smiles that they wear for the rest of the world to look at most people are soul sick. Like if you're a sensitive person, you can pick that energy. Who is picking it? Who is performing? The vast majority of people who populate our planet live lives of quiet desperation that are all too often quite harsh, quite painful, and lives in which events and circumstances usually don't turn out the way they had hoped or planned. Most human beings are completely out of touch with their spiritual nature and with inner dimensions. So we have a side that is spiritual nature. We are totally out of touch with that our spiritual nature, and we also have our inner dimensions that exist within ourselves. They don't realize each person has a soul, an inner core of light, an inner core of intelligence as vast as 10,000 worlds, whose true nature is emptiness, ecstasy, and happiness. Yeah, so there's this writer and the master's conversation while they're going back near Himalayas, Kathmandu, and they're walking miles and miles. Now the writer says lots of people know about the soul. They teach people about that in church. And that's the point that hit. Yes, the master replied. Some people do know they have a soul, but just because at one time or another a priest, a monk, a Quran, or an imam told them they have a soul doesn't mean they have personally experienced their own soul. Now that's my question. How to experience your own soul? Or know how to get to your own soul and bring its power, its beauty, and happiness. Human beings are soul sick because they are cut off from the ecstasy of creation. Enlightenment, which is the pure experience of the soul's light, is not simply an intellectual understanding one gains about living. It is a direct and powerful entrance into an experience of the most ancient, knowledgeable, eternal parts of ourselves. And now there I'm quoting from the 2 words from the Quran, that's "Lest بربكم." Like we promise something with the Rab, the Lord, the God, but when we came to this world, now we have forgotten about that. This line has anything to do with that. The most ancient, knowledgeable, eternal parts of ourselves. Why have we forgotten? Why have we lost them? We are luminous beings. Beneath our transient physical bodies, we are made of intelligent light. is our soul. Is that life? What's the difference between the soul and the spirit? The ruh in Quran, Islam, the ruah in Judaism, Kabbalah, one's own body of light, which I refer to as the soul, is the most real part of oneself because it lives forever. It doesn't die and decay along with the physical body after that. At the end of each of our lifetimes, it might transmigrates through the process of reincarnation into a new body that is just in the process of being born. And then the soul begins the cycle of living all over again in a new incarnation. That's what I'm interested. How to, take two different notions inside the mind. The Judgment Day, fundamentalist viewpoint, the only way, that's the only end, world's ending. This is the end of the world. Again, it was in the movie Life of Chuck. I don't think so. It's the end of the world. We keep blaming, these kids are, they're disrespectful to the parents or the elders. The thing is, we elders kind of failed to update ourselves with the time. And now we're just blaming them. It's easy to blame versus taking the responsibility. And then we also blame, near the judgment day, end of times. And the world will end. The judgment day, the Qiyamah will come. The kids will be disrespectful. So it's all the programming. They're disrespectful due to this change, this technology, this inorganic dopamine that we crave, this competition, this comparison. It's everywhere. This indoctrination. Schools, our office, our education system, our health system, each and every part. Coming back, around this world, the world we experience each day with minds and our senses, are countless other worlds and dimensions. Yes, that's the thing. We are stuck in just 3D. यही सब कुछ है. This is all. In deep meditation, when your thoughts become silent and your emotions are calm and at peace, you can travel into experience the inner worlds and that dimensions of light and perfection and even experience nirvana itself. There's no experience in this or any other world, whether it is in a physical, there is no experience in this or any other world, whether it is in a physical or astral dimension, that can compare to the experience of enlightenment and nirvana. It's the highest ecstasy and there is nothing more. Now finally, somebody named their project Nirvana. Talking about enlightenment and nirvana seemed to have transported the master to another plane. Walking next to him, I have the peculiar feeling that he was not entirely in his body. He seemed to have gone far away to a very private place and that I couldn't quite see or reach. Even when people manage through luck, through effort, attain everything in life, what they desire, happiness is usually shallow and short-lived. That's true. Most successful people are surprised to find out the attainment of their goals doesn't necessarily bring them happiness and joy they assumed would accompany their success. And even the lucky ones who do manage to become happy, attaining their goals, live each day with the constant fear of losing whatever it is they may have gained. Even the rich aren't often happy. Their wealth is at best only a temporary distraction. It doesn't make them immune to emotional suffering and mental suffering or to disease and death. They too must deal with the loneliness, the death of loved ones, the frustrations, the boredom of old age. The rich may have more material goods, benefits than the poor, but most often they tend to lead spiritually impoverished life. Time holds the final claim check for everything we gain or attain in this lifetime. All of our possessions, along with the people and feelings we love, are at best only loaned to us for a very short time by eternity. If you live for a very long while, you will have to watch your friends and loved ones die. Your body will age and lose its beauty and vigor. Your mental capacities fades. All of your physical accomplishments, no matter how important and significant they might have seemed to you at one time, will be relegated to the past. At the end of your life, you will probably end up in an old age home or in a back room in one of your children's house, left only only with a handful of fading memories, and a body that with great pain and suffering. Unless you have gained the happiness and ecstasy that comes from the practice of meditation, the inevitable destruction of everything that you have loved and worked for will cause you to be very sad and lonely during the final days of your life here on this earth. Now, the writer, how can enlightenment change any of that? Just because you are enlightened doesn't mean you aren't going to die. You will be protected from experiences in life. That's a good question. No, enlightenment wouldn't enable you to live forever in your current physical body, nor will it prevent all physical misfortunes from befalling you, although it will certainly help you to avoid a great many of them. Then what good is it? Enlightenment makes you happy. It is the experience of ecstasy beyond anything you can possibly imagine. Knowledge of the enlightenment cycle of the ways that the dimensions and nirvana work gives you an entirely new perspective on everything. It lifts you far above the transient sorrows, pain, pleasure, joys, the enlightened masses experience each and every day of their lives.